Jorge came over to spend the night. Partly because I was the new kid, partly because he was curious about how I lived. At first, everything went fine. We explored my room, watched some shows on Netflix, and chatted about random things. But as night fell and the house grew quieter, I noticed Jorge getting restless. His eyes wandered around as if hoping a PS4 might appear out of nowhere. I could only laugh awkwardly and admit I didn't have one. So I suggested something else, telling ghost stories. Jorge wasn't very interested, said it was childish, but eventually agreed. The dim yellow light cast a glow over his face, reflecting off the shiny wristwatch he always wore, something I'd noticed since the day we met. I asked if I could try it on, but he refused immediately, saying his father didn't let anyone touch it. I smiled faintly, though another idea had already formed in my mind for tonight's game. When darkness fully swallowed the view outside, and only the weak light remained, Jorge began to lose patience. I could see the boredom in his eyes, so I offered again, "Let's tell ghost stories. Whoever tells the scarier one wins." Jorge smirked, still mocking, but gave in. He went first, a tale of two brothers, one dead, one mad, who dug up the other's grave to cook his organs. That night, the ghost came back for revenge. I pretended to flinch at the right moments, letting him feel victorious. When he finished, he leaned back, grinning smugly. "See, you're almost crying," he said. I only smiled. The room was still, save for the faint hiss of wind through the window. Jorge thought he'd won the game, but he didn't realize the real horror hadn't begun yet, because my story was far more real than he could imagine. Jorge sat across from me, confidence still lingering on his face, while the lamp's glow made his skin look pale. The whole house was silent now, no TV, no clatter of dishes, just the whisper of the wind. "You said you're not afraid of anything?" I asked. "Not even true stories?" He chuckled. "Go ahead," he said. "I don't scare easily." I nodded slowly. "My story," I began, "is about a family that looks normal, but isn't. They move often, never staying anywhere too long, because if anyone discovers their secret, they'll be hunted down." Jorge frowned. "What secret?" he asked. "They're monsters." I said softly, "Who feed on children?" Jorge laughed nervously, but I went on, voice calm and rhythmic. "Each time they settle somewhere new, they pick a quiet house, pretend to be a family. The child makes friends with local kids, then invites one over. Just one." I paused, watching him. His eyes flickered, his breathing shallow. "Why would the child do that?" Jorge whispered. I met his gaze, smiling faintly. "Because after the parents finish their meal, everything the victim owned becomes the child's reward." A breeze stirred the curtains. I knew he was starting to believe. "Want to know what happens next?" I asked. He didn't reply. "They eat them," I said quietly. "Not the way you think. They tear the body apart piece by piece until nothing's left but an empty skin." A creak echoed from the hallway. Jorge jumped, staring at the door. "Probably just the house settling," I murmured, though I knew better. Those weren't the sounds of old wood, but of footsteps. The steps grew louder. Jorge held his breath. "Who's there?" he whispered. I tilted my head, smiling. "Don't be scared," I said. "They just want to see you." Who are they?" he stammered. "My family," I whispered, standing up. "Mom and Dad have been waiting to meet you." The doorknob turned with a faint click. Jorge stumbled backward, eyes wide with terror as the hinges groaned and the door began to open. Darkness filled the doorway. The sound of dragging feet approached, slow, heavy, wet. I turned slightly. "Mom, Dad, this is my friend." Jorge froze, trembling against the wall as shapes emerged behind me. Pale hands, gray skin, the thick smell of rot flooding the room. "Don't be afraid," I said softly. "They just want to say hello." Then came one final creak, and the darkness swallowed us whole. Only the sound of ragged breathing and something wet echoed in the silence. Jorge's watch hit the floor, the glass shattering, its second hand stopping mid-tick. By morning, the house was still. No one ever saw Jorge again. And when a new family moved in, they swore that sometimes around midnight, they could still hear faint footsteps in the hall, along with the quiet tick-tick-tick of a broken watch in the dark.